Yo, what's up guys? So I guess I should start on putting things in the Honda. So what that means basically is I got the cams, I got the springs, I got everything I need, but to make sure everything runs properly and up to spec, I need to start on the ECU. So I got the ECU and the TCU here from an automatic. So I need to somehow disassemble all of this and show you guys how I'm going to repurpose everything. So this is just going to be like a vlogish video, I guess you could say. And then I'm going to do like a how-to video after that about the ECU. But this should be pretty interesting. I just need to take this apart and let's find out what's going on. Oh my god. This is not a good spot. Alright, now that we got the actual ECU out finally, I can see there's actually screws on the back and the front. So what we're going to do basically is I'm going to take off the ones on the top so we can see the actual motherboard itself. And then I guess the bottom part is where all the soldering connections are. So yeah, we're going to figure this out. It's going to be really easy, I promise. That's apparently the bottom, so let's flip it around. And there we go. Just some sweet electronical goodness. So yeah, I don't know about you peeps, but seeing things like this is super cool to me. Like, I love the fact that this thing's almost 30 years old and it looks fantastic. I mean, obviously because it's like under the carpet, in the footwell, under some metal, but I don't know, man. It's really neat. So I'm gonna look online to see what I need to take off, and then we're gonna see what I can do with that. Yeah. Yo, what's up, peeps? So it's a couple days later, and I found tons of stuff on this ECU. So the PT6 shares the same motherboard as the PT3, which is like the F22A1 and the F22A4 motherboard for the same car. But since this is a different kind of ECU, this doesn't share the same characteristics of a P28, which is a very moddable, easily moddable ECU where you can just, remove one capacitor or one, diode and then bridge a gap between I think A17 and A18, and then boom, you get a manual car. So, or manual ECU. So this one, I believe there was a user named Cloudasc. He's done tons of research on the PT6, and for a while there he's actually had a little business of selling chips that could run your automatic car to a manual. But the thing is though, his website, I guess he lost his domain and it's gone. All the information gone. So I'm going off of whatever is left on CB7 tuner. I sent him a message, but the last time he's been on was last month, and the last time he's posted was probably around between 2015 to 2017. So he might give me a heads up, but it just hasn't happened recently. It's been a few days, so I'm not really holding my head above water on that. But the things I found out on the PT6, basically, since my F22A1 and it's a 1990 didn't have an F22A6, the only one that had F22A6 was the special edition model, the SE model of the Honda Accord of that year had it. So the IAB, which is what the intake, it's like the butterfly system for the intake. I need to wire a pin from the PT6 to the IAB, and it's going to be pin A17. So from there through the firewall to the ECU, I need to wire that. And then I need to wire a 12 volt positive. So that was a ground, and then the positive is going to go into maybe the distributor or somewhere in the fuse box. I found a couple things on CB7 tuner about it, but I'm probably going to do the distributor part because it's the closest thing there. And I'm going to do that. And I found out also there's several variations of the PT6. So there's the manual variation, and then the automatic variation, and then the California variation. So the manual variation is the A11 and the A12. So that's strictly for the manual. And then for the automatic, there's the L50, and then there's the A50, and then there's the L50, the L is for California, and then the L52. So what I'm gonna do is, since there are some clear distinctions between the automatic to manual, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compare the manual ones I've seen so far that have opened up and you can see the entire motherboard to the automatic and remove the parts that the manual doesn't have. And there's a few. That's why, to be honest, if you have an automatic ECU in your manual car, it's not running properly. It doesn't matter if it's running now or not. There's some clear distinctions that automatic ECU does not have on the manual ECU. So you're gonna have bad gas mileage, and it's gonna idle real weirdly, I guess, and it's not gonna work out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off some parts from the automatic ECU to make it look like a manual one, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I haven't seen anybody else do that before. It's probably not gonna work out too well, but it's a free ECU. I'm losing nothing, and if push comes to shove, I'm going to the junkyard and rescuing one from a manual F22A6. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun, but for now, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna make sure everything's in the car, and I'm gonna make sure it all runs properly. And once I know it runs properly with the ECU in it, obviously it's not gonna run properly, but it's gonna run okay-ish, then I'm gonna go and mess with the ECU and see what I can do. And it's gonna be pretty fun. I'm gonna bring you guys along with me because I haven't found anything on this and I wanna share with you guys. But that's basically it, guys. The next video is going to be me working on the intake. I'm going to take it apart and see what's wrong with it, see if I need to clean anything, and it's going to be pretty fun. But if you guys like what you saw, like, subscribe, and got any questions, comment down below, and I'll try to help you to the best of my abilities. Can't make any promises though, but hope this helped out somebody, because to be honest, I know it's a very niche video, and there's a lot of information on this that's strictly only for this car and only for this ECU, but the only reason why I put these videos out is to help somebody, because to be honest, this information was really hard to come by unless you've done tons of hours of just like scrolling and researching. So if I can make it into one consolidated video for anybody who wants to know about any of this, I'm more than happy to do it. But this is my research, and there's a lot more probably to find out about this ECU. So if you haven't found anything on this video, comment down below and let me know. And yeah, it's gonna be it, guys. So I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.